Well, she has been sitting here patiently for, I don't know, 12 months. I can't remember the last time I actually put a video up on this. Let's just say 12 months. Obviously all the COVID stuff, and there was a whole lot of other stuff that, you know, life throws at you. But nevertheless, I have completed it. It is now ready, barring just the quick changeover of the wheels, which I've got over there. It's ready for rego. So yeah, it's been what, 2.5, 3 years since I started these videos, and I probably could have done it in 2 years if I didn't faff around a bit and then stop working on it. I must admit I probably did suffer from a little bit of project burnout, which is something that I'm happy to discuss if anyone's considering building a project. I'm happy to do a video on lessons learned and my take on what it takes to build something like this, because there's a lot of variables, a lot of things you got to factor in, and you kind of figure that along the way. And so I'm happy to share that if anyone's interested. Just put some comments down below and I'll see if I can get cracking on something. But anyway, everything's done. I've got pretty much all the interior, aside from the seats, covered. Now I've got a bit of a dodgy, cover here because the seats still need to be done. But apparently for rego inspection, as long as the seats are covered, you're fine. So I'm going to try that first. Interior, I've got all the lights and everything works, of course. I've made that panel. This is an original panel here. These are cheapo, but actually they're quite good quality replica Smith gauges. I'm not going to put those on. I've actually got some older type gauges. And I've also changed out this panel here for the later 2 and Series 3, which has got the temperature. So I had to do a bit of electrical changes around here, where the charge light here used to be here. So I had to change these around. So this is now my high beam indicator or light, and I've got the charge light there. I've also got the voltage stabilizer that you need in order to run these two. It doesn't run directly off 12 volt, so you have to have that voltage regulator to drop the volts to an average of about 10 volts, I think it is. Anyway, so everything works, all the window wiper motors, and of course I've got a nice little addition there. I've actually installed a fairy overdrive, so it's going to help. I've put in a door lock on this side, which has got the key, and on the other side I've just got a push button type. I mean, there's not much to really say about these things interior. There's not much, is there, to them? Oh, one thing I will say though, I've discovered these door seals. Now, I've been rattling my brains out, reading forum after forum after forum about what to do with door seals. Some people say they order the original kind of V-shaped taper ones. Others say to buy the Defender 90 door seals, which I ended up doing. However, they were no good for me because the gap between this face and the actual door face is too narrow, and so you can't actually fit those in. I found these, look at a perfect fit. They fit perfectly in the channel, if I can get it to focus right. They fit perfectly in the channel, and they're about the right depth as well. You can see how and they're a D profile. I'll show you what that is in a minute. And of course, I bought it from the local hardware store. Can you believe it? All these months of mucking around, and I could have just bought that to start with, and it was perfect. Ended up being perfect. This is my truck cab that I've put together. I'll put the glass in. I've actually reused, for those who've got a truck cab, these things rust out. So I've actually reused the channels, which were actually salvageable. And I bought my own, let me see if I can get it for you. I bought my own sticky back matting. It's like that felt felt matting, self-adhesive, and I cut them in strips. And then what I did is I just pressed them in as I pinched them together. I pushed it in with a screwdriver and put it into place. And there you go. That's another hack. And guess what? That was from the same hardware store I got the D profiles from as well. Can you believe? It was all there. Anyway, separate thing. That's going to have to wait until after Rego, because I really want to run without the top anyway. Okay, so underneath, excuse me, underneath, I had to do a couple of little things in regards to the, maintenance output shaft. I'll probably go around the other side and show you the Fairy Overdrive, but everything pretty much is, ready to go. Pretty happy with that. Let's go to the back. So, here's the profile. So that's it's perfect. Here it is again on the back tailgate. I've even been able to wrap it around and follow the profile. You can see that it just is a perfect fit. I mean, if I was a Land Rover reseller of parts, I would be buying this stuff by the, just a bulk load of that, and then selling that off as being the stuff to use. Anyway, nothing much has changed in here since the last video. I've just got the seats in here. I did put the spare tyre there, only because I still yet to finish off how I'm going to, and I did a separate video on this, how I'm going to mount that tyre on the bonnet. And I've got some ideas. There was actually a comment from one of my viewers about an option, which was fantastic. So I'm going to look at that option as well. Nothing else here in the back. All of that is all fine. The last thing I did was put a new exhaust in. So that was it, and everything else is just, just patina really. Let me go this side here. I'm still in the garage obviously, and it's just a little bit difficult to film on a tight space, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the green, must admit. That's just pissing me off. This green, which is the Brunswick green, which is again off the shelf product, clashes with the deep bronze green. You can probably see that it really isn't a good match. So I'm thinking about repainting at least the door tops, and I'm going to do it in a Galv colour to kind of match the Galv surrounds. I'm going to leave the bulkhead as it is because there's no way I'm going to be touching that again. But the other option too is I'm actually really considering going all the way back to just the bare aluminium like this, going back to that and seeing what that looks like. Because if I'm going to paint it, I might as well give that a go as well. But anyway, cosmetics. Tyres over here. We've got these. I'll just move this stuff out of the way. Tubes. These are the tyres that I've recently painted. I did those myself. Not perfect, but definitely better than what they were. I've got some photos on before and after on my Instagram account. And these are the Olympic Steel Trek 750 16s, and they've got just a beautiful profile. They're just a beautiful tyre. I think they're kind of like the equivalent to the Michelin XLZ or XLZL or something like that, but ex-military. So really happy with those. There's my ex-army workshop trailer, which I'll be using for camping as well. Right, I'll pop the bonnet open and show you that. Right, so again, nothing's changed much here. I've got just the beautiful amber headlight or high beam. These are the original Lucas lights as well. Apparently they're about like 1 candle power each, but anyway, we shall see. One thing I haven't yet to do is the radiator. This radiator, it is literally munted. Like, if I show you, you can see there the core's all chopped up, or the fins I should say, but it holds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a brand new core for it. So obviously I'll need the top tank and the bottom tanks, and you can see it's already been done before. But one of the things about putting a new core in with the company that I'll be going with, they actually recondition the tanks as well. So, you know, there's like, for example, that's popped out. But yeah, all of that is next. I put in the tap for the eventual heater matrix. I've got a round Smith one, which decided to leak, so I pulled it. Then I bought myself a beehive type, which is really nice, except that I'm going to have to drill more holes in the firewall or the bulkhead in order to fit it, because the fittings are all different. And so I'm kind of hesitating. I'm kind of thinking, well, should I try to find myself another round matrix? And no, I'm not going to buy an aftermarket one at $500 or whatever they are. It's ridiculous for just a bit of copper piping. But anyway, that's my opinion. Diesel, she runs beautifully. I had to do some modifications to the wiring. You can see I've actually got 2 fuse boxes over there. I thought I might as well use them. Headlights are relayed, so they've got the fuses themselves, because one of the things about these Land Rovers is that somebody in their wisdom decided to run the power to the headlights without any fuses in them. So I've got that for that. A nice big battery, that's new. And really nothing else has happened here in this area for a while. The only thing I did recently, which is just a maintenance thing, was just to adjust the clutch pedal. Oh, because when I changed, that's the other thing I didn't mention, which I should have. I actually replaced the gearbox. I actually had another one, so I replaced the gearbox. And when I replaced the gearbox, and I've got photos of with the whole floor out and everything else, it was kind of like Back to the Future repeating stuff. But anyway, I replaced the gearbox, and while I was at it, I installed the overdrive. So let me just get that showing. There was nothing wrong with my old gearbox, really. I mean, it was the bronze bush needed to be replaced. And I thought, well, this one apparently has had some modifications done to it, or it's had been rebuilt in the past. So it's a nice tight gearbox. And there's the fairy overdrive and the exhaust system. A little tip here: if you're putting a new exhaust in, you need to actually remove the entire gearbox mount. You will not get the header exhaust in without removing the mount, and you also need to remove it because you have to have it on the chassis side of the mount. You see? So yeah, I had to ask around a lot because I couldn't find anything in the manual about how to put a header pipe in, and you actually have to go this way in. So yeah, a little bit of fidgeting, but you definitely need to remove the gearbox mount. So all the linkages and everything else, obviously, for the fairy overdrive are there. I've actually serviced the entire gearbox in terms of new oils, and I actually tested the gearbox whilst the car was stationary by just jacking up one of the rear wheels and then going through the gearbox. But that was a bit of work there. So yeah, so I did replace the gearbox and also put in the fairy overdrive. So that's been good. And I think that's about it. So we're pretty much ready for rego. I'll have to, when I take it, what I need to do obviously is I need to take the car out of the garage because the roof line will not fit underneath the doors with the bigger tyres on. It just manages to fit in with the 600s on there, so I have to kind of take the car out, change the tyres, the entire lot, and then I can go and take it for a run down to the inspection place. But I'll do a separate video on that. So yeah, apologies for not doing any updates for a while. I've had a few people ask me whether or not I've abandoned this project, and no, definitely have not. So it was just a matter of me getting into it, and quite frankly, I got a little bit doing these YouTube videos. If any of your viewers do your own videos, you know how time consuming it is, and I put minimum amount of effort in it. It's pretty much a raw off the camera. I don't have any special effects. I don't have, much. I just, it's pretty much factual. I just want to say, here it is. This is the info on it, and away you go. So, yeah, anyway. Oh, and in case you picked it, those wooden blocks there, they're actually stuck on there since I, not stuck on there permanently, but I used the jack to lift up the each side, and those pieces of timber just remain there. I've got to remember to take them out. Right. And that's about it, I think. Super happy with the way things went. Oh, and if you're wondering about the truck cab, I do have the roof for that. So, yeah, I've just got to paint that as well. I'm thinking about colour schemes. I'm thinking about going for a white roof, and maybe just either having a aluminium or a white side. I don't know. I'm looking at so many pictures, as you do, mainly on Instagram, of people's vehicles and of their series, and they all look beautiful. Whether they're a pristine rebuild or whether somebody's just kept it as is and just registered and is just driving around with a 50-plus-year-old patina on it. Either way, they're all beautiful. Right, I'll leave the video at this, and next one will hopefully be me driving towards the inspection station, and I'll take you along with me on the drive. Right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see you then.